Name's Alex. Alex Anatole. Let me know if you've got any equipment that needs repairing. I'll get it back to you as good as new. It's a dangerous region for sure. There are beasts out there just waiting to tear a gnome apart. The mining operations here have run into a real wall when it comes to the local wildlife. Take heed and learn from their hardship. Make sure you're well equipped, and don't hesitate to ask for repairs. They're Motus Mining's only competition out here. They set up shop first, actually, but they're just about finished. When Motus moved in, they lured the Erin workers with promise of higher wages. Erin Excavations never recovered. I hear the foreman, Edgar Erin, is pretty bitter about it. He still hasn't left, though. Probably holding on to the hope he can get his business running again. Take care of your gear, and we'll always bring you home.
I'm not sure what's more dangerous, the Fae out in the desert or the desert itself.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Krulak? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. Once word got out that Edgar Erin had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a chief of security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Krulak that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Erin of Erin Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus Mining and, such as it is, Erin Excavations digging here. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Erin. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Erin's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Erin Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Erin Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Erin's miners with much higher wages. No one knows what's at the top of Cloud Crest. but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dune Head operation's hardly begun, thanks to a vicious Croddock. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dune Head Mine. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
The Hollowlands are a harsh place to earn a living, but we make do.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. I've spent a lot of time here in the Hollowlands, living off the soil and the wildlife. I thought I'd finally made a living for myself when I discovered the mineral deposits here. Not sure what I'll do now that Motus has stolen my workers, but I'll think of something. Motus will get theirs someday. They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money. I hired a small army of gnomes to help me with the mine. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards have the gall to leave me for Motus. I've lived in the Hollowlands for a time, seen lights and heard rumbles from the top that could have been the world's quietest storm, or very powerful magic. Mark my words, there's something happening up there. Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back.
land flourished under her gentle plumes. As life returned to the burnt expanse, the people crawled from their caves and saw a majestic silhouette against the open sky. They praised Saina and worshipped her likeness. She replied with a call that still echoes on the wind.
Be careful off the side.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Scholar of Mineralogy, Motus Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Edessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest. Oh yes, our stalwart foreman. He sent you after me, I suppose. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. Yes. Well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, it shook its fist at me. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind, at a safe distance. To the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge, where a cadre of Fae awaits to rip us to shreds, no doubt. Lead the way. Up the slope
another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. He and I are two where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side, took it northward through the narrow rocks to their village of wood and cloth.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form. Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae maid within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
I've been hoping you'd come by. The miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. Thank you for ridding us of that menace. If you hadn't happened along, who knows where we'd be? In whatever that thing calls a stomach, I suppose. You're welcome here any time, friend. Though there's not much to do but swing a pick at rocks. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
In such a warm environment.